best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. What do we got here? We got the death of the Venomverse. Well, thank God. Can you also take a little, trip over to the Gwyniverse and the Spiderverse and the Black Cataverse and the Madam Webaverse and the J. Jonah Jamesoniverse and the Spider-Man verse and whatever other verses? Just clean them all the fuck out. Anyway, Death of the Venomverse will cap off Marvel's Summer of Symbiotes, which is not going to be a summer of sales. Yes, somebody else came up with that joke, so you know who you are. Well done. Death of the Venomverse will take Carnage into the multiverse to hunt down Venom variants. Well, hallelujah. Carnage, the hero, we want and deserve. Right there. So it says Marvel has been building its Summer of Symbiotes initiative all year long. Yeah, we've noticed. And now the publisher has revealed that it's all leading to a new event story. What the fuck? Okay. The event is leading to a new event called the Death of the Venomverse to be fully revealed at Marvel SpiderMan and Venomverse panel at C2E2. So what is the Death of the Venomverse? It's a bunch of shit is what it is. Sorry. We don't know much yet. But what Marvel has revealed is that the story will center on the Carnage symbiote heading into the multiverse for its greatest killing spree yet. Though its goals are shrouded in mystery. I'll tell you what its goals are. To save comics. Anyway, no other creators have been announced. Marvel, by the way, has 6 announcements out with no creative teams attached to them. It's wild. I'm sorry. Look, I did the video before. A couple of you were like, no, I don't think so. And then I did a follow-up, and then some of you, then more people were like, okay, I'm starting to see what you mean. At this point now, look, there's trouble in them waters when Marvel is soliciting books like 6 months in advance, which they are. And they're now soliciting an event that spins out of an event that hasn't started yet. And they're doing it with no creative teams attached. They're just throwing these ideas. It's like a pitch meeting where the ideas are just thrown out into the wild. Just fuck it. We're just throwing it out there. It says, okay, before Death of Venomverse, Carnage will take on Miles Morales in the story Carnage Reigns, which will also bring in the Red Goblin, of course, the Carnage ongoing title. The story, billed as part of the Summer of Symbiotes initiative, marks the 30th anniversary of the landmark story Maximum Carnage. Landmark? Really? Okay. There's also a new symbiote spin-off of Carnage debuting in the limited series Cult of Carnage Misery, which is the story of all the poor son of a bitch buyers who have to pay for all these titles, in which Liz Allen bonds with a symbiote named Misery. At the same time, Extreme Venomverse is about to debut in May to give readers a tour of the numerous incarnations of Venom from around the multiverse, a story which will likely lead straight into the death of the Venomverse. Along with the early announcement of Death of Venomverse, Marvel has released a piece of teaser art for the Summer of Symbiotes by Philip Tan and Scott Williams, showing many of the characters who will appear in the stories, including what appears to be a venomized Mary Jane Watson right up front. Now, Mary Jane is rumored to be murdered, but maybe this is a multiversal Venomverse Mary Jane who's a Venom Mary Jane. Why not? I feel pretty likely that we will get a Venom Mary Jane from the multiverse. What if Mary Jane had the Venom, the thing? Anyway, this piece of teaser art by Philip Tan is based off of the old classic Marvel Swimsuit edition, in which Jim Lee drew the various X-Men kind of hanging out in bikinis, and this one is kind of the various symbiotes hanging out in goo, and that's what we got there. So anyway, Summer of Symbiotes, which leads into Carnage Reigns, which includes Carnage Reigns, which leads into the birth of the Venomverse and then the death of the Venomverse, or as I like to call it, a bunch of shit. From Marvel. Okay, so why am I so salty in all this? Because, look, the reality is some of these comics will be good, some will be bad. I joke, there will probably be some good stuff. And hell, in the grand scheme of things, Summer of Symbiotes likely to be slightly more coherent, at least action-packed, than whatever the hell's going on in the X-Men line. So, I kid for sure. Okay, that's the sarcasm here. But if you already typed your comment going, well, is Perch so pissy? Well, do what you want. But I think, and I've said it before in videos, and a lot of you agreed with me. So I know I'm preaching to the choir here. But what is it going to take to get the comic industry off of the crack of the multiverse, which to me is the death of their business? And I'll explain why. The challenge with the multiverse is it removes all stakes, worse than the X-Men being perpetually, living forever. The multiverse basically makes it so that any version of any character can appear at any time, and the entire comic universe is one big what-if story. And as soon as you have that, again, nothing matters. Everything has an escape clause. Everything can be, well, it's like a multiversal version of it. And also, it allows the dumbest comic pitches to be birthed into life where they should not be. So, for example, it's pretty common back in Comic Cons. I'd sit around with a bunch of writers or editors or whoever, and they'd say things like, hey, it'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if, like, Iron Man was actually made out of iron. Like, his body was iron. He was like a robot. He got like an iron spell put on him, and then he could fight crime. But if he fought it in the rain, then he'd rust or something. And wouldn't that be funny if Iron Man had to fight rust? This is a real pitch, by the way. And people were drinking, and there was like, yeah, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious if they did that. And but then you sober up and you go and you write, your story about Iron Man having to go take his armor back for the 500th time for a bunch of criminals, and you realize that you can't actually do the Iron Man, Rust story because that would be stupid. So that's the challenge that we've got, is that with the multiverse, those stories just happen. It's like, what? Screw it. Let's have a Spider-Man who's a fashion designer, and another one who's handy-capable, and another one who's a car, and another one who's a robot of some kind, another one who's like a Game of Thrones character, and another one who's a cow. And, hey, it'd be really funny. Remember that Megan movie? That Megan movie made a lot of money because it was like a psycho doll. So let's make a Spider-Man. It's like a Chucky. Make a Chucky Spider-Man. It'll just go out and murder people. That's pretty funny. And, let's do that. What else is popular? John Wick is popular. I know. Let's make a Spider-Man that's like John Wick. By the way, I've seen 3 different writers, two of them said one talked through. People are pitching a what if kind of John Wick style take, and that is the new hotness. So right now, if you're listening to this and you're a writer, I'm telling you, if you are polishing up your pitch for Marvel or DC, and your pitch is, think John Wick, but with superheroes, I've got news for you. Several other comic writers have already done that. And it's all going to be stupid. But, you picture John Stewart, Green Lantern, except it's like John Wick. Because John Stewart realizes there's a secret club of superheroes that is only known to a few people. And then he rubs a bow, and he's got to somehow make his way to on another planet, because it's another planet somehow. It's like interdimensional cable and Rick and Morty, but with comics. And the thing about interdimensional cable on Rick and Morty is it's designed to be really stupid. It's not designed to sell a bunch of comics. And that's what we got. But anyway, are you buying Death of the Venomverse in the SpiderVerse, Maximum Carnage, Summer Symbiote versatility? Remember when everybody crapped on Grant Morrison for his multiversity kind of stuff, and people were like, oh my god, so many, look at all these worlds, what are you even doing? And now multiversity and Grant Morrison doing that seems super quaint. But that's what you got. Anyway, there you go. That's the news. Buying, not buying, let me know in the comments below, and thanks for listening.